Hannibal crossed the Alps, but the real weapon was buried deep. They say Hannibal crossed the Alps with elephants to surprise Rome. But what if I told you the elephants weren't the real surprise? They think they know what's coming, he whispers to the mountain wind. But they have no idea. 6 months earlier, Carthage, the war council chamber fills with angry voices. Rome has grown too powerful. Rome must be stopped. But how do you fight an empire that has never lost on its own soil? I know how, Hannibal declares, his voice cutting through chaos like a blade. The room falls silent. Everyone remembers what Rome did to his family. The 9-year-old boy who swore an oath of eternal hatred at his father's altar, blood dripping from his palm. But here's what the history books won't tell you. That oath wasn't just about revenge. It was about something far more dangerous. Cross the Alps, in winter, with elephants? His second-in-command laughs. It's suicide. Hannibal unrolls a map, his fingers tracing a route that shouldn't exist. That's exactly what they'll think. Rome controlled the Mediterranean. Their navy was unbeatable. Every logical path to Rome was blocked. So Hannibal chose the impossible path, the path through hell itself. Fast forward to the Alps, 15 days into the crossing. The temperature drops so low that breath freezes in beards. Rocks crumble under elephant feet, sending soldiers screaming into crevasses. Entire companies vanish in avalanches that roar like thunder. A young soldier approaches, his face pale with frostbite. "General, we've lost 10,000 men. We should turn back." Hannibal points down the mountainside where green valleys of Italy shimmer like a dream. Turn back to what? Defeat? Slavery? His voice cuts deeper than the wind. Rome thinks these mountains protect them. These mountains are about to betray them. But here's the secret that changed everything. Hannibal wasn't just bringing an army. He was bringing a weapon Rome had never faced. Not the elephants, not his cavalry. Something else. The sound of cracking ice echoes across the pass. On the 15th day they reached the summit. Half the army was gone. But when Hannibal's remaining troops looked down at Italy spread before them, something changed in their eyes. They had done the impossible. 3 days later, Roman scouts burst into the Senate, gasping, faces white with terror. Hannibal is in Italy. The senators laugh. Impossible. The Alps are impassable. He came through the mountains, the scout whispers. With elephants. The laughter dies. For 15 years Hannibal terrorized Rome. At Cannae, he destroyed 70,000 men in a single day, the greatest military victory in ancient history. But here's what haunts historians. He never took Rome itself. He came within 3 miles of the city walls, close enough to see the Forum columns. And then, he turned away. Why? Because, his brother later wrote, the secret he carried over the Alps was never meant to conquer Rome. It was meant to destroy it from within. What was Hannibal really carrying? What did he whisper to the tribal chiefs who joined his cause? What promise kept his army loyal through 15 years of war in enemy territory? Ancient texts hint at something. A document, a treaty. A plan that would have fractured Rome not through military conquest but through something far more insidious. When Hannibal finally died in exile, poisoned by his own hand rather than captured, his last words were supposedly about relieving Roman anxiety. But some historians believe he said something else, something erased from every record, something about what he buried in the Alps during that impossible crossing. The question isn't how Hannibal crossed the Alps. The question is, what did he leave behind? Somewhere in those frozen peaks, perhaps sealed in a cave or buried under eternal ice, lies the real secret of Hannibal's war. And Rome's greatest fear wasn't that he would return. It was that someone would find what he hid.